Hi, Dave here from Informed America. I hope you're all having a great day. Well, the stimulus deal has apparently been reached, and President Trump has signed it. And we've been waiting and waiting for months. And this stimulus package shows to me how broken this country truly is. And we have lots of details here I want to hit on. Just absurd stuff. And I mentioned in the title here why you're only getting $600 this time around as opposed to the $1,200 per person for those making under $75,000 individually. You know, the money just wasn't there, guys. Not really sure that you Americans getting that cash in your hands is really the best idea. There's a lot of hemming and hawing of this. In I believe March or April, the House passed a $3 trillion aid package, which was in itself absurd because much of that money was going to things unrelated to COVID-19. And things are really no better now, I guess. Really, the number is smaller. Now, that got reduced to $1.8 trillion when Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin were negotiating. I believe this was in August. And Nancy Pelosi would not budge. Why? Well, we know why. It's because it was before November 3rd, and we couldn't possibly give the president a win there. And it's really not about sending you money. It's not about aid for you. It's really about a lot of the bull crap that goes on in Washington and getting money for your own special interest or your own pet project. It's not about helping out you or me, those people who are out of a job, or those people who have basically had their entire lives torn up over the last year. I've come to this feeling now. I've come around to this, and I know many of you would think, well, look, don't even do any stimulus or whatever. It's all going to be waste, and part of that is true. But look, my perspective that I've come to on this is, U.S. government, you broke it, you bought it. You broke this economy. You made businesses close their doors. You sent people out of work, not from anything that they've ever done. And I heard, Republicans are just as guilty about this as Democrats. There is no one good here. Nobody good. I heard somebody, I don't know if it was Mark Meadows or it was a congressman, maybe Jim Jordan, someone like that, who said the best stimulus is getting a job. Yeah, great. Yeah. So many jobs out there. Well, we got millions of people out of work who can't pay their rent, something that we talked about here. Millions could potentially be out on the streets, literally, because they cannot make their mortgage or their rent payments. And you're like, wow, stop complaining. Go out and get a job. Oh, by the way, of course, the place that you were working at and all the businesses you were at are all shuttered. But go out there and get a job for yourself. Nice. Sorry, you break it, you bought it. Now let's get to the main highlights of the bill. If you haven't seen this, just to break this down just a second. And I'd love to know what you think about all this. What do you think about the $600 per person versus the $1,200? And what do you think? I got you here in the description of the video. Yeah, one of those things is $10 million going to Pakistan for gender programs. Many of these things might be good causes, as we'll get to them. They might be fine. But they shouldn't be part of a COVID-19 relief package. So you, Joe American, you need to get a job, Sorry that we have made your business close, but it's up to you. But we're going to make a carve out. We're going to make a $10 million carve out for Pakistan. Yeah, we've gone from the idea of America first to America last. And that's where we're headed. But let's look at the big highlights here. This $900 billion stimulus package. $325 is going to small businesses. $166 billion going to direct checks. $120 for unemployment benefits. We got stuff for vaccine. And then there's some other small, $82 billion for schools. Transportation, and you can see here all these numbers here. And then childcare, broadband, I don't know. COVID relief, you need broadband. I don't know what's going on there. I guess that's an ongoing thing to provide funding for rural areas to get access to broadband. There is some rental assistance in there, which is good, and then $12 billion to support low-income small banks that serve low-income and minority communities. Okay, so the big one here is small businesses, the PPP loan stuff. This looks like a good idea. It really does, to help out small businesses, to help them potentially keep their employees. But I don't even know, over time, as things have gone on over the last couple of months, I'm not even sure if this money even helped. Did it really? How many businesses didn't go under because of it, and how many people were able to keep their jobs because of it? I don't know. I really don't know. Or is it just a slush fund? If anyone get their hands on an LLC to claim a business, and we've seen this kind of, fraud is all over the news. People getting millions of dollars. There's one I saw, a fake ministry. And so there's some more egregious people about, pretending to have a business and using the money to get a Lamborghini or something like that. But that's the obvious stuff. But what about the small scale stuff? How much little fraud is there? And I just wonder, maybe this money just needs to go directly to people, right in our hands. You say, not a conservative rhetoric's idea that we can, the individual citizen can make the best decision for themselves. Well, if you really believe that, as a sovereign citizen that I can make the best decision for myself and do what's best for myself, then maybe that money just needs to go to me, and I need to figure out, and I can make that choice rather than you allocating it for things like this. Those PPP loans, I don't know. I like the idea in theory, but I'm not quite sure that it actually works out the way it's supposed to. Got some other things here. Some real great highlights that I think you're all going to like. How about this? Family members of unauthorized immigrants are now eligible to get stimulus checks. That eligibility is now retroactive because the first go around, illegal aliens, unauthorized immigrants, undocumented, whatever you want to call them, were not allowed to get stimulus checks. Now they are, and now they can go back and claim from the first one. How do you like that? And that is just the beginning. The COVID relief, I got a bunch of stuff here on the side. I'm not gonna pull it up because I got a bunch of different sources here, but you can find all of this if you want to go ahead and go through the text. You're certainly welcome to. COVID relief bill lays the groundwork for a climate security advisory council. Very important for COVID somehow. $10 million for gender programs in Pakistan. I already mentioned that. The COVID relief bill set aside funds to investigate the 1908 Springfield race riot. Have you ever heard of that? The 1908 Springfield race riot. Forget what's going on now. We need to set some cash aside to look at something that happened over 100 years ago. COVID relief bill includes a lengthy subsection titled the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act of 2020. Talk about special interest. Biggest horse racing occurs in Kentucky. So we know that's the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's pet project. Money for horse racing, guys. They want to regulate performance-enhancing drugs, the use of painkillers, a whole big section on this. Really important stuff. Really, really, really important. It will be illegal to give, racehorses painkillers before training or racing. Okay, fine. COVID relief bill, I got a frog in my throat. The COVID relief bill outlines funds to address gender inequality amongst statues. Gender equality in statues. Need federal money for that. COVID relief bill includes funds for a museum that will offer, quote, programming, education, and exhibitions on the life, art, history, and culture of women. Okay? All these things might be worthy. They might even be important issues, but not as important as COVID-19 relief for families who are out of work, for businesses that you forced to shutter, and you're going to sneak in all your little pet projects. Now, maybe that's what all this negotiation was. Maybe back in August they already settled on $600 per person, something like that, and everything else was just horse trading, horses, right? Literal horse trading, because it actually ended up in the bill. Will include funding to discourage teenagers from drinking and hooking up. Yeah. $40 million to the Kennedy Center. The COVID relief bill creates a commission tasked with educating consumers about the dangers associated with using or storing portable fuel containers or for flammable liquids near an open flame. They just keep on coming. $1.5 million for the Appropriations Committee Office of Diversity and Inclusion, as well as lots of money for recipients. See, stupid American, you $600 check. You suck. Oh, you should have just been happy that you got your 1,200 last time because we gotta put money into this stuff. Mandates new hiring measures to ensure diversity in the intelligence community. $8 million to support Joe Biden's presidential transition. Congress is setting aside money in its COVID-19 stimulus program to pay the added pandemic expenses inside its own U.S. Senate daycare center. So now you're funding, senators are funding their own daycare. What about your daycare? Struggling to pay your bills? Daycare is not cheap. That kind of domestic help is not cheap. And who knows better than a senator? Because he knows. We need to improve this. Sorry, family, 2 working spouses, if you're lucky to have a job, paying for childcare for your kid, with all this COVID stuff, maybe, I don't know. I don't know the status of daycares if they've been shut down or not. Maybe. But the Senate makes sure theirs is up and running and improved. Unbelievable. Now, they also passed the omnibus spending bill, and it's really all together because Congress just passed all this crap. $500 million for the Israeli cooperative programs, $500 million for the Jordanian defense program, $33 million for Venezuela's democracy programs. But you can only find $600 for you. This country is incredibly broken. We cannot get anything done that matters. It starts to feel like everybody in Washington has been bought and paid for. They're all on the take. They're all only looking out for themselves. All they care about is sticking in a little bit of legislation so that they can get a kickback down the line somewhere. It's absolutely corrupt. Oh, we also made something, we have provisions for dealing with the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama. I mean, that's critical stuff. I wonder how long those negotiations took place. Maybe that was the sticking point back in August. I really want to know what you guys think about this. Congress can only find $600 for you. They broke the economy, and they're just going to throw you some peanuts. Meanwhile, foreign aid. Why? Don't we need help at home? And I guess giving money to illegal immigrants getting stimulus cash, that's a form of foreign aid too, if you want to think of it that way. All this crap, all this time negotiating. And I've been calling for months, just pass a simple skinny bill. And they won't. Why won't they? Because they have to do this stuff. Their job isn't to support you. Their job is to get this small stuff passed. That's why they're in office. That's why these parties, the Democrats and Republicans, how do you think they pick these idiots, these people? They're all vetted. They're all only allow certain people to run. Certain people get elected and they're protected. Why? So they can pass this crap. That's why. It's not about protecting people who are out of work. It's not about protecting people who are on the verge of eviction, bankruptcy, foreclosure. Can't find anyone to take care of your kid while you're out there working and struggling. The Senate takes care of that for themselves. It's not about supporting you. It's about finding this stuff. It's about pork. That's all it is. It's all a big game to get this stuff passed from special interests and lobbyists. They do not have your best interest at heart. I don't care, conservative, liberal, whatever. There's always some excuse not to do it. You get this bootstrap stuff from conservatives. I think that's over with. I think we're done with this crap. We see through it. You know what? At this point, this thing is so broken. Just give me the money. That's it. The system is illegitimate. And since you're going to be throwing around cash anyways, you might as well just send it my way. Who cares at this point, right? Because you got your millions of dollars of carve-outs for all this other crap. Just give it to me. I'd rather we just end it up there. Because there's no point. There's no point supporting and believing in this system. It is absolutely outrageous what we're seeing here. Absolutely outrageous. And don't even assume that. And I've been guilty of this too. This idea of going back to normal. It's never happening. Never happening. The only thing you can do is say screw it, I guess. Well, what are you participating in this for? What are you supporting this for? What are you even your local Democrat or Republican politician? Why? Why? For what? You're at the bottom. You're at the bottom of the totem pole, buddy. They don't care about you. They laugh. They laugh at this. Some of them are saying, forget this $600. Unbelievable. Just outrageous. I want to know what you think about this. If you've got something here, let me know what you think. What do you think Congress did a good job here? Do you like these carve-outs? It's absolutely embarrassing. It is an embarrassing time to be an American. Well, it looks like we might be having a little bit of trouble with the video here. Hold on here. It looks like we're computer here might be have a connection issue here, but in any event, I'd love to have better news. I'd love to be able to offer you something a little bit better than this. This is genuinely an embarrassing time to be. This is an embarrassing time to be an American. That's what I want to say. I'm genuinely embarrassed. Embarrassed for my country. Embarrassed for my Congress. Embarrassed for my president. Embarrassed for this whole thing. And that's why I say screw it. Just give me the money. Just give me the money. I'd love to know what you think about this new stimulus package. Do you agree with sending all this aid to foreign countries and all these stupid pet programs? Horse racing? Good idea? A lengthy passage about horse racing? Thanks, Mitch McConnell. Now I know what you've been worried about all these months. Oh. I'm going to get out of here. I'd love to know what you think about this. Go ahead and comment down below. If you're watching here on Facebook, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, love it if you subscribe to the channel and also hit that thumbs up button. And then please head on over to informedamerican.com where you can get real smart news. Thanks for watching.